let's say we have a data set, and let us assume that we have different subject IDs. We have subject ID 1, subject ID 2, and so on. We have different subject IDs, and if you want to find how many subjects are there with number 1, 3, right? Number 2, 3. Number 3, 1. So if there is some huge data like this, and if you want to find counts for that subjects, then we use proc frequency. So this is the syntax for proc frequency. Here we'll be taking an input data set, proc frequency data, that's the proc procedure step, and for that we'll give input data name, and we can include any options here. I will say what are those options, and in the next line we'll start an tables. For proc freq we need to use tables, and here we need to give the names of the variables, by which variables you want to group, by only subject ID or any others. Let's say we have one again here, right? And from one we have Hyderabad, and we have Mumbai. So if you want to group by both of these now, so how many subjects one with Hyderabad are there? One with Hyderabad is count is 2. One with Mumbai is 1. So if you want to group multiple variables also, you can group it. Those will be mentioned in the table statement. So those variable names will be given in the table statement. And for the output data set, out is equal to, we'll output the data set here, and we can also use weight. What weight does, I will say you. And we can use by variable, we can use where condition, we can also use formats. We will discuss about all these now. So this is a simple frequency. Proc freq data is equal to class sashelp.class. I'm not defining any table statement or any other thing. Let's see what comes up. So it is a printable procedure, so it gets automatically printed if you don't give any output. So it calculates all the possible frequencies. It calculates how many subjects with different names are present, how many different sex categories are present, female 9, male 10, and what is their percent out of 10, out of total 19, right? Our total count in the sashelp.class dataset is 19. So total number of subjects are 19. First, it does frequency based on name variable, then it does on sex variable. Out of 19, we have 9 as male, 9 as female, and 10 as male, and their percentages, their cumulative frequencies. Then it comes to age. So it goes variable by variable when we haven't defined any variables. Then it does by height, then it does by weight. So that's how it calculates the frequencies if we haven't defined any of these table statement or any other thing like by. Now if I want, and there are frequencies called one-way type frequency, two-way type frequency, and multiple frequencies. Let's look at those. Proc frequency data is equal to sashelp.class table sex. I want only the count for variable sex, and also you can also do multiple table statements in one proc procedure. So table sex run age, one-way frequency table. Let's look at this. See, we got it by sex here, we got it by age here. We got only two of them printed.
Two.
So these are called as one-way type frequencies because here we are only considering single variable. Or you can do like this also. Instead of doing it into two statements, if you don't use this multiply symbol, still it will be one way. Let us run the top one first. See, still the same results are printed. Separate statistics for sex and separate statistics for age. Same like above. previously and currently we are having same results. Either if you do table sex in one and table sex age in different variable, or either you do in this way, same results will be produced. This is also called one-way frequency table, but when it comes to two-way frequency table, you have to use star symbol. So, and this is three-way. Let us run first two-way frequency. What is the difference? See, previously we have the above one separate for sex and age. Now if you see, for female age 11, how many are there? 1. Their percentage, their cumulative frequency, and their cumulative percent. Similarly, female with age 12, how many people are present? 2. Female with 13, female with 14. First it does by sex category and then it does by age. So this is called two-way frequency. So the first row is for frequency counts, second row is for percentages, third row is for row percentages, fourth row is for column percentages. Now I want to do it by sex, age and height. This is called three-way frequency. See, now what happened? First it is looking for sex category female, because alphabetical female comes first, right? So previously also every time it is considering female in the first place. Here also see F comes in the first place. When it comes to age, it is sorting by increasing order of their ages. Here also same thing. First F, then 11. Next F, 12. Here also when it comes to ages, when it comes to three-way frequency, first it takes female, from female it takes age 11 and then their lowest height, so on it counts it. So how many male with age 11 and height 51.3 are present? 0. How many people with age 11 and 57.5 are present? 1. So it calculates those. So this is called three-way frequency table. All we are doing is counts. Now I'm taking class proc frequency data is equal to class. We have an option called missing option. What does that do? Tables age missing. So in age, do we have any missing values? No. Let's say we have a missing value here. What happens if you have a missing value? Missing value will also be counted in the frequencies. So if you want to exclude the missing records, then you need to use an option called missing. If you don't want to calculate the count for missing, you don't want to include count for missing, then you need to use option called missing. By default, this procedure omits the missing values. So here I am doing two one-way frequencies, and one is age, the other is sex. So it will look right. So we don't have any missing, so it gets printed. If you have missing, it excludes the missing values and then it does counts. See, I don't want row percentages, I don't want column percentages, I don't want percentages. I want only counts. Then I can use no row, no column, no percentage. Here also see no row, no column, no frequency, no percentages. And let's run it and see what's the difference in the results. See, in the first data set, I said no row, no column, no percentages. So only counts are printed. Female with age 11, and how many are present? 1. Previously, if we see their percentage, cumulative and frequency and percentages are printed, right? So if I don't want to print this percent, cumulative frequency and cumulative percent, then I can use no row, no call, no percent, then only their counts will be printed. And in the second place, what did I say? I don't want no row, no call, no frequency. So I need only percentages. I don't need counts also. So I got the percentages 5.26, 10.53, same like here, right? 5.26, 10.53. So only the percentages are printed. So here we got only percentages printed because we said no call, no count, and no freak. So no row, no call, no freak, then only percentages get printed. Here we said no percentages. So except percentages, column percentage and row percentage are printed in the third one. See, frequency and the cumulative frequencies are printed for sex category. So if I don't want to print it, here everything we are printing into an output window, into the results window. I don't want to print it into results window. Like other proc procedures, we can use option called no print. And if you want to output into a data set, you can output tables age out is equal to class under freq run. So it is printed into the work environment. So class under freq. So people with age 11, 2, age 12, 5, 3, 4, 4 and 1. Total count is 19. If you sum all of this, it will be counting. Sorry, 19. And if you sum all this, the percentage will be 200. Same thing. If you don't want to include missing values, you can use this. So previously, what was the order present? The order was if you are doing by age, it is doing by increasing order of their age. If it is an sex variable, it is doing increasing order of their alphabetical. I don't want to do according to the variable name. I want to print the results according to the counts. I want to get the results according to the counts. So I want this observation to be in the first place because this is the lowest count. I want to print my data set in the increasing order of their counts. So then I can use an option called order is equal to frequency. So it prints in the increasing order of their results. Region. Don't worry about this now. Or let me show it in the previous data set. That should be easy. Order is equal to freq. Let me show it here. So right now the data set is in the increasing order of their ages, right? Now I want to do it in the increasing order of their counts. So let's run this. Again, same data set. Sorry, yeah, it prints in the decreasing order. So it prints in the order of their frequencies. So what does table statement do? It gives the count. What does wait does? Let's open Shush dataset. So what do I want to do? I want to do it for tables region. So I want to do it for this variable, but I want to do only for two countries. What are those two countries I want to do it for? Asia and Canada. And what is weight sales? So what does it do? It takes the sales variable and it prints the total count of sales of Canada and Asia. So let me run the output and show it to you first. So what happens? It prints. It takes only Canada and Asia from the data set. Okay, let's select only where region. I want to do only for Asia and Canada. Okay, and what do I want to find? So I want to find the total sales for the country Canada. So if we sum up all these sales, the result will be this one. The result will be this one. If we sum up all the sales of Asia, the result is 46 4,60,231. So if we sum up all the results of Asia, the result will be this one. So the result will be this one. So what is weight doing? It is summing up all the values of the sales. Yeah. So by it means a table statement here is this is used like and by by option, right? Same function. It is doing according to the region. If I don't use this one, all the country sales are printed. All the country sales are printed, and how are they printed? According to the order of their frequencies, according to the decreasing order of their frequencies. According to the decreasing order of their frequencies. If I don't use order is equal to Freq, what will be done? How are they printed? According to their alphabetical order. Africa, Asia, according to their alphabetical order. If I am doing by order is equal to Freq, then they are printed in the decreasing order of their frequencies.
Sir,
Yeah, go ahead.
what if we want to print by increasing order?
You can use proc sort after frequency, right? You can do that also.
Yeah. Yeah, okay.
So same thing, agents X run. So order will print the order of their frequencies. So is this a one-way type of frequency or two-way type of frequency, which I am doing right now? This one. Tarak, can you answer?
So this is one-way type.
So what is the two-way type? What is the difference between two-way type of frequencies and one?
If you press star, then it will be two-way type.
Okay. So order is equal to free. Tables region. I had some more examples. That's all. um, table section order is equal to data. So what is data? Let's do this. So in the data set, what is present first, according to that order they are printed. So if I open my SAS help.class, what is the order present? Male is present in the first place, right? So when we are doing by sex, male will be printed first. When we are doing by age, 14 is printed first, 13 is printed next, 12. So it is in the order of my data set, 14, 13, 12. If you see the results, 14, 13, 12. So it is printed in the data set order present in the data set. So order is equal to internal. Now what happens? Tables age and sex. So now it is printed in the increasing order of their. So defaultly it is printed in the same order. No need to give order is equal to internal. If you don't give also, they are printed in the ascending order of their variables given in the table statement. So this is defaultly printed. So no need to use this option. So now, does everyone know what is a proc format? We already learned in the previous class, right? So what is the format I am creating here? What is the format name that is I'm creating here? Any one of
For
you?
the age. This is for the age. If age will be 11, then it will appear lion.
Now, what is the
12,
name of the format I'm using here?
Age format.
age format.
Yeah, that's the name of my format. So what will be my value if I have age 16 or 17 for age format? So here I have 11 to 14.
Cats.
Cats.
If anything other than that, my value will be
Cats.
cats. So we can apply this format to our class dataset. So order is equal to formatted. So ascending order of format. Okay, we are expecting the results in the ascending order of their formats. Okay, tables age, sex, format, age format, run. So I'm applying format called age format. And why is it not? Okay, I haven't run format. So how many of them with what is king? What is 11? Lions, right? 12 is kings. 11 is lions, 12 is kings. How many of them with 11? 2, right? So lion should be 2. Okay, we're matching. And how many with 12? 5. So 12 is kings, right? So we are matching. What is the third one? 13 is piranha and 14 is tigers. So if we see in the previous proc, how many with 13? 3. 14 is 4. Piranha and tiger. So piranha should be 3 and tiger should be 4. So okay, it's matching. But instead of original age, we are formatting those into these ones. So others will be printed as cats. So here we have given only what 11, 12, 13 and 14. Okay. 11, 12, 13 and 14. How many of them are with 15 and 16? 4 plus 1, 5, right?
5.
So cats is
5.
5. That's all. So we can also apply format. So we already know this, what weight is doing. it prints the sum of their sales. So here we used odd is equal to Freq, so it is printed in the decreasing order of their frequencies. Same thing, weight, instead of sales we are using here stores. It prints the total number of stores for each region. So how many stores are present in Western Europe? 642. In South America, 632. So on. That's all with proc frequency. So what are the different things we learned in proc frequency? We learned how to use a table statement. And in table statement, what is the difference between using one-way frequency and two-way frequency? Or how to use multiple table statements. So, and the difference between one-way, two-way, and three-way or multiple frequency. You can use any number of variables you want to. It's not limited to three-way frequency table. It's not limited to three variables. So what does missing option does? Missing option omits the missing observations if they are present. What does no row, no call, no percent does? They won't print row percentages or column percentages. You can specify whatever you want to print or whatever you don't want to print. You can specify whatever you don't want to print. So you can also output into a data set and not printing it into in the results window. For that you need to use an out statement in the table statement. Whenever you are using by variable, you need to sort it right previously. Anywhere you use by dataset, either in the dataset or in the merging or in the set statement, always the dataset should be sorted. This is the first thing you need to remember. Always the dataset should be sorted according to the key variables. What are key variables? Where the variables that are using in the by. So it should be sorted according to that. You can also use weight. What does weight does? It prints the total amount of the values in that variable. You can also use where option to exclude or include only required variables. So you can also use order. So it prints in the decreasing order of their value results, and you can use also format. So you can apply formatting for your data set. That's all with the proc free. Any questions guys in the proc frequency?
No, sir.
If you don't have any questions, we'll be going to proc transpose. So what does proc transpose do? So proc transpose converts the horizontal observations into vertical variables, or it can be converted into vertical variables into observations, either way. Now let's say I have student number 1. Okay, he is having 3 subjects: maths, science and social, and his result is 70 marks, 60 and 80. I want to make this like this, like student 1, their maths, their science and their social, and I want the results to be done here. Like what is the result for maths? 70, science is 60, social is 80. If I want to convert the vertical ones into horizontal ones, so for that we use proc transpose. So how do we that? Would we do that using procedure called proc transpose. So in proc transpose, we have again different options. In all the proc procedures, you can use no print, you can output into a data set, or just print it into a results window. That's the first basic thing. And you need to use input data set name proc transpose data. If it is Freq, what did we use? Proc Freq data. If it is means, proc means data. If it is print, proc print data. All of them are same. We use the procedure name that we are using. So proc transpose data is equal to input data set which we are using. Here we will be using out is equal to output data set name. I will be explaining below what is label, what is name, what is prefix. We can use by variable, and in the var statement, which variables do you want to transpose? Here in the example, which variables am I transposing? Let's say this is subjects, right? Let's say this is subjects. So in the var statement, I should keep subjects. In the var statement, I should keep subjects. So you can use id variable also. And you can use label. ID is not required in all cases, but in some cases we might need it. So I'm creating a data set called test. Okay, in test data set I have 3 observations and 4 variables: roll number of the student and their subjects and their scores. So now everyone should be knowing how to create an data set, right? So I want to transpose this data set and I want to print the results into a new data set called test2. So I want to only transpose these two variables. ID variable is roll number, run. Let us close all. So test2. So this is our original data. Okay. This test is our original data, and this test2 is the data that has been changed. So what are we using in the var statement? Maths and English. So the variables which we want to convert, either we can convert variables into observations or observations into variables. Anything can be done by using proc transport. So now I'm converting my variables into observations. So I have used maths and English, so those gets converted into my observations now. And what is ID? I want to give ID. If you see my this data set, I want these as my IDs. So 101, 102, 103, those should be printed as my ID variables. What is an ID? ID is an name of the variable. So 101, 102, 103. So the variable name cannot be started with numeric. So for 101, 102, 103, prefix underscore is added, as the name cannot be started with a numeric. Defaultly underscore is added. So what did I say first? Take variables maths and English and convert them into my observations. And for those values, for the scores, maths and English scores should be printed under ID variables. So these IDs are printed as my variable names. So this underscore name underscore is defaultly created. So underscore name underscore label underscore are default variables that are printed by using an proc transpose. I'll be showing you why is this underscore name underscore created, because those are the variable names we are using, right? So those values should be present, and earlier they are present as names of my variables, so they are printed as underscore name underscore because those are the variable names previously, so they are changed into underscore name underscore. This is a default variable name that is created. You can also change this underscore name underscore by using an option. I will show it to you in the below steps. So I want to create one more data step. Test is equal to test3. I want to print this underscore name underscore as subjects. I want to name this underscore name underscore as subjects. So for that, I need to use name is equal to subjects. And instead of adding an underscore before this 101, 102, 103, I want to add roll. I want to add roll number of the student. Rest of the code will be same. Here I'm taking all three variables and ID is roll. Let's see what will be my output. Previously we took only two, maths and English. Now we are taking maths, English and science, and we are using two more options called name and prefix. And it's test3. See, in name I got subjects, right? I want to change default name underscore as subjects. What did I use option for that? Name is equal to subjects. Previously underscore is attached before 101, 102 and 103, right? 101, 102, 103 underscore is attached defaultly because those are numeric variables and name of the variable cannot be started with an numeric. So an underscore is attached. Instead of underscore, I want to give any prefix that I want to. I want to here attach roll as my prefix name. So the new variable names has attached with prefix called roll number. You can use anything. Here I used roll, right? Now I want to use ID instead of roll. Close this dataset and run it. Prefix will be ID.
ID.
So if I open my test3 now, what is my prefix? ID. And here also you can use anything, whatever you want to. So that's the importance of name and prefix. So I'm creating one more dataset called score. I've created a dataset called score, and let me close others. In that, how many variables am I creating? Input name, ID number, second, name, ID number, second, and
Yes.
I have taken math, science, and social. Now I'm using proc transpose data is equal to score, out is equal to transcore run. What happens? I haven't used any other any var statement or ID statement here. What happens? It converts the numeric values. it converts into like this. It takes math, science, and social defaultly. This is dataset is printed defaultly, and it takes IDs of my variables. Why is call 1, call 2, call 3, call 4, call 7 printed? It takes the observation numbers 1, 2, 3. So this gets printed as my variable names. Call is printed defaultly. It took the values of math, science, and social. Don't worry about this step. So here I want to use variables second ID number and maths. Second ID number and maths. I am only selecting second ID number and maths. Okay. So out of these three, these two are character and maths isn't numeric, right? So let's see what happens. Out is equal to trans here one. Still they get converted, but the values are like this because this is a numeric and others are character, right? Character gets aligned to left and numeric remains same. Just I want to show that we can also apply transpose for character variables. Name is equal to transfer math, science, social. Transfers here too. So their scores get printed into default variable names called call1, call2, call4. Instead of call, if you want to attach prefix, you can do that. Prefix is equal to sub. So instead of call, you can print anything you want. Call is defaultly printed because that's the position of their columns, right? So that is printed defaultly. Same thing, prefix student. Results will be same because we are using same thing, but we are attaching prefix called students. Transfers are 3. See, student is attached. So what are my original values? These math, science, and social are being taken, and this one is printed as subject 1. Subject 1 has 94, 91, 87, right? 94, 91, 87. So 94, 91, 87. Math, science, social. Previously we have these three as variable names. Now they get converted into observations and their results get printed like this. This is for student 1. So which is nothing but this is for student 1. This will be my student 2. This will be my student 3. Why this is printed? This extra column 1 is printed because we used here in the statements name plus 1 like this, so it prints that. So proc transpose data is equal to score, out is equal to trans, name is equal to subjects, prefix is equal to role. Instead of student I want to use role. Prefix will be role, nothing changes. And I'm using one more thing, ID number. ID is ID number, ID label is name. I want this as my what do we have previously? We have 1, 2, 3, right? Now I don't want my variable names as 1, 2, or 3, which is my column numbers. Now I want this as these values. I want 545 as my ID. So for 545, what will be my math score? 94. What will be my science score? 91. What will be my social score? 87. So I want this as my ID variables. Then for that you can give ID is equal to ID num, ID label is equal to name. For the label, you know what is a label, right? So for the label, I want to give these ones. These should be my label names. Let me run and show it to you. See, and I am also attaching prefix role. I'm also attaching prefix role, and I'm also using name is equal to subjects. So what happens? Name subjects is printed. For each roll number, prefix role is attached, and what is used? 545. Let me compress. See, what am I doing? I'm taking variables math, science, and social. Okay, I'm taking math, science, social. Okay, and for ID, I'm using ID number. So this will be my IDs 545. Okay, 545 is my variable name. 1252 is my second variable name. But for those, prefix role is added because we have used an option prefix is equal to role. For ID label, name is used. So this will be my labels. So now if I select this and I do view column labels, see, these are my labels. So for 545, what will be my label? What is my label for 545?
Capital T.
Yeah, so on. For 1252, Jubos. If I go to attributes of this, you can find that. So roll number 1252, label is Jubos. And roll number 1167, Ingalls. Roll Grant 1230. Grant 1230, right? Grant 1230. So their labels and variable names are assigned. You don't need to rename those or do something. You can use options called id label, and you can attach prefix, you can use name. So those are only the options in proc transpose. Now I want to use this data set, trans scr4. Don't need to worry about this, I think. Yeah, I don't need to worry about this. So now I want to take my scores data set again. Now I want to take my scores data set. Now I want to use by statement also. What all we use till now? We use ID label, and where, right? We haven't used any by statement. Now I want to use by statement. Proc transpose data is equal to score, out is equal to cr5, name is equal to subject, prefix is equal to role, where is equal to this, ID is equal to ID number, ID label is equal to name. By seconds, I am using by seconds. I'm using by variable. So whenever you use by variable, the data set should be previously sorted using by. So I'm sorting it by. So I need to close this data set before I sort it. And run this piece. What is my output? Trans scr5. Now, okay, their names are printed, prefix is attached, and it is changed into subjects. If you see their labels are printed. But why is it printed like this? I am using by second. So first it prints math, science, and social according to, let me open class and show it to you. Sorry, not class, score. See what happens. It is also considering second. If we take second, by seconds, right? We used, so 1 1 1 1. Okay, here we have 4 ones. And how many, but we have only 3 subjects, right? Math, science and social. For math, science and social we have 4 variables: 545 1167 860 0674. For math, science, social, for second one we have 4 545, and other will have values missing because these doesn't have seconds one, right? These have section 2. These are, sorry, section 2. So when it comes to section 1, we have only 4 variables when they are transposed. So the other variables will have missing values. When it comes to section 2, only Jubos, Grant and Krupski has values. Jubos, Grant and Crispy, which is nothing but 1252, 1230, 2527. Others will have missing. So it is printed by subjects and by seconds. So that's why it's printed like this. Were you able to understand, guys? It will be quite confusing. Proc transpose will be, it's looking confusing, but once you start practicing, it shouldn't be that tough. So after the class, take more examples from SAS help library and try to work on those. I'll send you some assignment on proc transports, so you
Yeah.
should be good. Any questions? How is this working when we use an bivariable? Monica, any questions?
It's confusing actually. I'm unable to understand. So once I practice, if I have any doubts, I'll let you know.
It shouldn't be that tough. Once you practice, it should be easy. We are doing
Yeah, yeah.
nothing new. We are only converting observations into variables, and we are using different
Variables
options.
into
Either variables into observations or observations into variables.
variables. Okay.
So only you need to remember is where ID and by statement. ID
By
num and ID
statement.
label is nothing but they are assigning label names and
Column.
variable names. This is nothing but we are attaching prefix and name. So
Okay.
this shouldn't be tough. Only you need to worry about what this ID is doing, what this var is doing. Only those two things you need to worry about. So these are important 3 core factors you need to take care. By,
Okay.
var and ID.
I do.
So whenever you are using an ID, whatever variable you are using, the values present in that variables will be names of my variables. Let's say I have used ID as ID num, right? So what are the values in ID num? These ones.
Oh,
So
yeah.
whatever I'm saying, make these as my ID variables. So what is an, how do we identify you? By your name, right? So
Yes.
make these as my variable names. Make
Variable.
these values as my variable names. Whatever you use in ID, those will be converted into variable names.
Variable.
And these are ID labels. Those will be changed into labels. Name, subjects, prefix, call, where, copy, name, ID number, transix. So these 2 variable names will be copied and rest of them will be transposed. So these 2 are printed as it is because we used an copy option. Don't get confused. Most of the times you won't be using this. If you guys want to learn about this, just go ahead and change this. Whatever you are using in the copy statement, those variables will be copied as it is, and rest of the results will be printed as normal. That's all, guys, with proc transpose. So what did we use? By, where, and ID label, and we also used output dataset, and we used name. We also used prefix, Here, if you want to keep or drop options, you can use here. Keep is equal to whatever variable names you want to keep, or drop is equal to, or if you want to use rename statement, you can use anything, or where condition. If you want to use where condition, you can use. I think I can exclude this thing from program. Here this won't be converted because we haven't used any prefix. Let's say if I use prefix is equal to call, then it should be working. Because it won't accept underscores. Any questions, guys? So here what am I doing? Proc means data is equal to sashelp.class. I want to find the results for n, mean, standard deviation, sum, range. And I also want to find median and variance. And I also I need to find if is there any missing values, and I can print maximum decimals. If it's seen in the previous data set, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I want to limit these decimal numbers into 2. For that, I can use option called max dec is equal to 2. Let us run this, and so I got n, mean, standard deviation, sum is nothing but total of all the values. So if we sum all these, that will be the result for sum. For height, sum up of all the heights. For weight, sum of all the weights. For weight, sum of all the weights, that will be my sum. Range is nothing but difference between the highest and lowest values. So my lowest age is how much? 11. What is my highest age? 16. What is the difference between both the ages? 5. Similarly, difference between lowest and highest heights, difference between lowest and highest weights. Median is nothing but a set between value. And variance, is there any missing edges? No. Is there any missing height values? No. So values will be 0. We are saying what all results we want. If we haven't defined anything, only these statistics will be printed. N, mean, standard deviation, minimum and maximum. These are defaultly printed if we haven't defined anything. But when we use N, mean, only these results are printed. And if you see max dec is equal to 2, so only two decimals are printed, 1.49. Only two decimals are printed. Previously, you've seen for standard deviation 1.49267222. If I use max dec is equal to 3, here three decimals are printed. Previously only two decimals are printed. Now how many decimals are printed? Three decimals. Now I want to do it for age and height. Age versus height. So I want to do only for two variables. So I can give for what variables you want to do the means procedure for age and height, their n, mean, standard deviation, minimum and maximum. Here I haven't defined what need to be done. So defaultly n, mean, median and standard deviation, minimum and maximum are printed. So I want to, let's run this. I want to do it again for age and height, but I want to do it by category sex. So I want to do it by sex. So then what happens? It does by each separate category. So first it takes female, then it calculates n for age and height, then it takes male, then it calculates height and weight for male. So what is class doing here? It is doing it same thing like by. So it is doing based on their different categories of their sex, and it's printing their n mean minimum and maximum based on their sex category. Previously it printed total count because we haven't used any class, right? We haven't defined any class statement. Previously we haven't defined any class statement here, so it printed for the total number of subjects. Now it is printed based on their sex category. So if I want to do it only for female, I can use where option. So it only prints the results of the female. Now I'm taking sashelp.choose. I want the results for sales, but I want based on their region, on the product, and on their subsidiary. So in Africa, with boots, how many are with Adidas Ababa? So their mean, their standard deviation, their minimum and maximum. So let us take only two of them. That should be easier. You might be confusing. See, now if I take in the region Africa, how many boots are present? Totally 8. What is their mean? What is their minimum and maximum? If we open shoes data set, so in Africa, how many boots are present? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If we count, the total count will be
8.
8. And out of these 8, for variable sales, right? What are we taking? Sales. So for variable sales, what will be my lowest and what will be my highest values? So that is my min and max, their standard deviation and their sum by total. So their sum by 8 is mean. If you want sum, you can also print sum. So here I'm doing only based on the product. Based on the product, total number of products, how many products with boot are sold? 52. What is the minimum price and maximum? Men's casuals 45, men's dresses 50, sandals 49, slippers 52, shoes 51, women's casual 45, women's dress 51. So if there is any missing, it won't include, and if you want to include the missing ones, you can use missing here. But in Freq, it excludes the missing. In frequencies, missing is defaultly counted. If you don't want to include, you need to use missing option, but here if you want to include, you need to use missing. Class subsidiary, based on their subsidiary, results are printed. So if you want to output these into a data set, you can do that. Output out is equal to class under means. Proc means data is equal to class, var is equal to age, output out is equal to class under means. And here I have used option called no print, so results window won't be open. So if I go to my work, class under means, see there n total number of count is 19, minimum age is 11, maximum age is 16, their mean is this one, their standard deviation is this one. So like proc transpose underscore name underscore underscore label underscore, here in means underscore type underscore and underscore freq underscore are defaultly printed. These variables are defaultly printed. You don't need to worry about these. So I want to output into this data set and I want to do statistics only for n, mean, standard deviation and sum. And I want to rename the variables. So I want their n as observations, mean as in the variable average, standard under stand div, sum under total, min under minimum, max under maximum. So if I open class under means 2, so you are sending them into variables. So n is printed as observation because that's fine. Even if you don't include it here, you can even take it away because we are defining here anyways. So n is printed as OBS, that is nothing but count. Their mean is printed as variable average because this is the variable name. Average is variable name here, standard deviation is variable name here. Sum is printed as total. So what is the total age? If you count up all the 19th people age, their sum is equal to 253. Min is printed as minimum, max is printed as maximum. You can give any name here. I want min as min, max as max, and I want this as std, and average, this is nothing but total. So you can give any name you want to. So if I run this again, if I open this, see it's printed as min, max. Previously it was minimum, maximum, right? Previously this was OBS, we changed into total. So you can give any name here. Any name can be given here. It's nothing but we are renaming this default variable names. Any questions, guys? So what are we doing? Previously we are printing it into an results window. We are using where option, and if you want to do by each separate category, you can use class statement, and you can also use missing option. You can output the data set without printing it, and you can also rename into different variable names whatever you want to. What else? Same thing, I'm using class where format sales. Did I include format? No. Output out is equal to, and let's run this. What is printed into? Test. See, here it is. Total number of missing regions, total number of counts is 395. If we sum up all this, it should be matching to 395. Their average, total, standard deviation, and n, because we have given here n as OBS, mean as average, sum as total, and standard deviation as this one. I don't need to use this. Still same results will be printed. So what are we using proc means? In proc means you can give the input dataset name. You can use no print option. You can use max des option. You can also use order. We'll be discussing that tomorrow. You can use class, where, output, and any statistical keywords. Statistical keywords are nothing but the first will be, this will be my statistical keyword, n, mean, std, sum, min. These are my statistical keywords, and these are my alias names. That means the new names that are defining. So this will be my alias names like obs, average, standard deviation, total, minimum, and maximum. This will be my alias names. And you can use by, where, format statement, or lot of the different options for proc means. Any questions, guys? I will send you notes for proc freq and proc transpose. Please prepare by tomorrow's class, and also I'll send you this piece of code for proc means. Whatever we discussed, we have some more notes to be discussed for proc means. Tomorrow we'll be completing proc means and proc report. Then we can go to macros. I guess next thing will be macros. This should take couple of classes. Then we can go to one or two more classes will be on base SAS, and we can start on clinical SAS most probably from next weekend, I guess. Were you able to follow, guys? Proc means transpose and freq. Any one of you any questions? If you don't have questions, we'll end the session, and we'll meet same time tomorrow at 10 a.m. EST. No questions, guys?
No, sir, no question.
Yeah, it will be like quite confusing when you see all this. You need a lot of practice for these topics. So
Yeah,
it shouldn't be that tough. Once you start working, that will be easy, guys.